Gloria sat barefoot on the cold kitchen floor, drenched in pepper soup, her 30-inch wig tangled and smelling of burnt fish. Her designer wrapper was soaked, her phone boiled beyond salvation. But worse than her bruised hip was the silent gaze from the little girl standing at the kitchen door. Zinna, 8 years old, calm, still, holding a pink teddy bear with one hand and a kitchen towel with the other. "You said I should stir the soup, Ma. I stirred it." Then she turned and walked away. Mr. Richard, Gloria's husband, had just returned from a 3-day business trip. He heard the scream, dropped his suitcase, and rushed in. "Gloria, what happened? Are you okay?" Gloria tried to speak. Her hands trembled, her lips quivered, but all she could say was, "That child is not normal. That child is fighting me. That child is a witch, but it didn't start that way. No, this didn't start with soup. This started the day Gloria walked into the life of a widower and his little girl, thinking she was about to become queen of the house. She didn't know she had just entered a battlefield. This is African Tales by Imade. If you're new here, kindly subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get into it. Gloria entered that house like royalty. Her Ankara dress was bright orange with silver embroidery. Her heels tapped against the tiled floor with confidence. Her makeup? Flawless. Her lashes? Long enough to cause wind. Her nails? Red, curved, and deadly. Mr. Richard, her new husband, couldn't stop smiling. He was a calm, soft-spoken man, a successful businessman in Calabar, widowed 3 years ago, left with one daughter, Zinna. Zinna stood at the top of the staircase, holding a teddy bear, staring down. "Zinna," Richard said warmly, "come greet your new mummy." Zinna slowly walked down. Her dress was clean, her hair in neat, tiny cornrows, her eyes quiet, still, intelligent. Gloria bent down with a wide smile and whispered just loud enough for Zinna to hear. "If you try me in this house, I'll show you pepper." Then she kissed her forehead. "Oh, my baby," Mr. Richard beamed. Zinna blinked and said nothing. The first few days were peaceful, too peaceful. Gloria smiled, cooked, took selfies in the kitchen, posted them on Instagram with hashtags like #newbride, #wifegoals. But Zinna saw everything. The fake smiles, the rolled eyes, the deep sighs. Then, one morning, Richard left for a 4-day trip to Abuja, and the war began. The moment his flight took off, Gloria locked the kitchen. "If you're hungry, drink water and sleep. No child of mine will eat 3 times a day without doing anything." She made a bowl of noodles for herself and went upstairs. Zinna sat quietly in the dining room. By evening, Gloria came downstairs in her robe. "Why is this place still dirty? Sweep the entire house, mop, clean the toilets, wash the veranda. If I find one stain, you'll sleep outside." Zinna cleaned, quietly. Later that night, she ate bread and water in the laundry room. Her stomach growled, her hands ached, but her lips never parted. The next day, Gloria opened all the windows and blasted loud gospel music. "Let the neighbors see we are a happy family." But behind closed doors, she was a dictator. She poured too much pepper into Zinna's food, laughed when she coughed. "Your mother didn't train you well. I will." She forced her to scrub bathroom tiles with a toothbrush, re-washed folded clothes, made her iron her church dresses while standing. "Look at your face, like an orphan." Zinna's drawings changed from stars and flowers to shadows and broken hearts. One night, Gloria poured warm, soapy water in the corridor and called Zinna downstairs, knowing she'd slip. Zinna fell, sprained her wrist. Gloria laughed. "Didn't you see the wet floor? Or you want to be unfortunate like your late mother?" Zinna sat in the dark that night, holding her teddy, whispering, "I won't cry anymore. I won't beg, but I'll never forget." 2 weeks later, Gloria's friends were visiting. She wore a pink fitted dress, did a full face beat, and filmed a 10-second TikTok in the living room while shouting, "Zinna, come and clean the guest toilet, quickly, and boil hot water for my foot soak." Zinna obeyed. Later, Gloria told her to prepare the stew. "Use 2 spoons of salt. Don't mess this up or I'll flog you in front of my guests." Zinna walked into the kitchen, looked at the table, picked up the serving spoon. 1, 2, poured. When Gloria tasted the stew, she gagged. Her throat burned. "You poured the Atlantic Ocean into my food!" Zinna stood still. "You said 2 spoons! You didn't say which size!" Gloria grabbed the wooden spoon. "You did this on purpose, you little witch!" She raised her hand, and for the first time, Zinna didn't flinch. She looked straight at her. "Hit me! Go ahead! So when Daddy sees the marks, he'll finally see the real you." Gloria froze. That night, Zinna said nothing, ate plain rice with palm oil, brushed her teeth, wore her pajamas. Then at midnight, she snuck into the kitchen, unscrewed the cap of Gloria's special hair conditioner, poured in raw okra gel, shook the bottle, placed it back, went to bed, smiling. The next morning, Gloria stood in front of the mirror, humming a gospel tune as she massaged her expensive Brazilian wig with her leave-in conditioner. "Today, I'll slay with softness," she smiled to herself. She reached for her comb, but something was wrong. As the comb ran through the strands, a wet, slimy sound echoed. She frowned, pulled again, squelch. "What the?" She sniffed her hands, okra. Her jaw dropped. She opened the conditioner bottle, sniffed it, looked at her hand, then back at the wig. "Ah!" She stormed out of the room, wig in hand, trailing okra slime down the staircase. Zinna sat on the couch, watching cartoons, legs crossed. "Zinna!" Zinna turned, expression blank. "Good morning, Ma." "What did you put in my conditioner?" "Conditioner? I haven't been in your room, Ma. I'm not allowed there." Gloria froze. True, Zinna never entered her room. She always made sure to lock it. So how? She stormed back upstairs, slipped on the wet patch left by the wig juice, and landed flat. Her scream echoed through the house. Later that day, she soaked the wig in hot water and baking soda, trying to revive it. But the smell? It lingered. Her confidence? Gone. Her friends were expecting her at a brunch event that afternoon. She went in a scarf and dark glasses. They asked questions. She smiled weakly. Inside, she boiled. The next week, Mr. Richard returned from his business trip. He insisted on dropping Zinna off at school. "I miss my baby girl," he said, ruffling her hair. Gloria plastered a smile, followed them downstairs. "Don't forget your lunchbox, darling," she said sweetly. Zinna paused, took it. "Thank you, Mummy." Gloria beamed. Mr. Richard smiled. The gate closed. But as soon as the car pulled out of the compound, Zinna opened her lunchbox. Inside, white rice, no stew, and raw onions sprinkled on top. She closed it slowly. Mr. Richard noticed. "Zinna, everything okay?" She hesitated. "Daddy, do you think Mummy Gloria loves me?" He turned fully, concerned. "Of course she does. Why would you ask that?" Zinna opened the lunchbox again. Showed him. He frowned. "This is what she packed for you?" Zinna nodded. "It's been happening a lot. But she says I shouldn't tell you. That if I do, she'll punish me." Mr. Richard's grip tightened on the wheel. "She said what?" Zinna shook her head, looked out the window. "It's okay. I've learned how to manage." He parked the car, took the lunchbox. "Don't worry, Princess. Daddy will take care of it." She stepped out. He watched her walk into school. His heart boiled. He didn't say anything when he returned home. Not yet. But that evening, he made dinner himself, for all 3 of them. And when Gloria reached for her wine glass, he stopped her. "Zinna, would you like to say grace tonight?" Zinna nodded. "Dear God, thank you for food, thank you for love, and thank you for letting Daddy find out." Gloria choked. Mr. Richard didn't blink. Gloria's rage reached boiling point. "You're trying to turn my husband against me, you little devil," she shouted the next morning, dragging Zinna by the arm. "You told him about the food, about the pepper bath, too?" Zinna said nothing. She just looked at Gloria with tired, empty eyes. "I didn't lie," she whispered. "You're wicked," Gloria hissed. "You think you're smart, eh? You think you've won?" That night, Gloria soaked Zinna's school socks in starch and let them dry into rock-hard blocks. The next morning, Zinna wore them. Her feet ached. She limped, cried silently in class. Her teacher noticed, called Mr. Richard. He came to the school, saw the socks, sniffed them. "Starch?" Zinna nodded. He drove home in silence. That night, Gloria found her credit cards missing. All three. Then her wig glue. Then her favorite waist trainer. "What's going on?" she screamed. Zinna sat at the dining table, calmly doing homework. "Ma, maybe you should pray. It's like a spirit of confusion is entering this house." Gloria blinked. That night, she searched her room, found nothing, until she opened the oven. Inside were her three cards, her glue, her waist trainer, baked. The room spun. She sat on the floor, wept. "I married into witchcraft. This girl is a witch." Mr. Richard heard her crying, came to the room. "What's wrong again?" She looked up. "Your daughter, she's tormenting me." "Or are you just reaping what you sowed?" he replied. He turned, walked out. Gloria sat there, alone, boiled, bruised, but never beaten. Not yet. Saturday morning arrived with loud worship music and Gloria's usual chaos. She had invited two of her close friends over for brunch, Amaka and Blessing. They were stylish, chatty Calabar ladies who loved taking selfies, gossiping, and comparing marriage stories. Gloria wore her newest red off-shoulder lace gown, fresh frontal wig styled like a crown, and heavy makeup that made her look like a local celebrity. "Zinna!" she yelled from upstairs. "Make sure my guests don't meet dirt in this house." Zinna had already mopped the sitting room twice, polished the glass table, arranged the throw pillows. But Gloria was not satisfied. She came downstairs, sniffed the air. "Why do I smell dust? Are you trying to disgrace me in front of my friends?" Zinna, now used to the accusations, quietly got the broom again. At exactly 12:15 p.m., the gate bell rang. "They're here!" Gloria screamed. Zinna opened the gate. Amaka and Blessing entered in heels and perfume clouds, laughing and greeting. "Ah, this is the famous Zinna," Blessing said, hugging her. "She looks just like her mom," Amaka whispered. Gloria forced a laugh. "Don't mind her, Yar. She's been dull lately. Lazy child, always hiding under her daddy's skirt." Zinna blinked, but said nothing. As the women sat to eat, Gloria bragged about her marriage. "My husband adores me. He calls me his queen. And Zinna, she's learning manners. Slowly, but we'll get there." Amaka raised a brow. "She's quiet. Are you sure she's okay?" "That's how it starts, oh," Blessing added. "Quiet children see everything." Gloria waved them off, went into the kitchen to serve catfish pepper soup. That was her second mistake. The pepper soup was Gloria's pride. She believed it was her signature weapon, both for cooking and intimidation. She opened the pot and tasted it. Perfect. She turned to get the plates. And in that moment, Zinna tiptoed in, looked around, pulled out a small container from her pocket, labeled lemon and sugar powder. She opened the pepper jar Gloria left out, poured the entire lemon mix inside, stirred gently, covered the pot back, walked away. By the time Gloria returned, she didn't notice anything. "They will lick their fingers today," she said to herself. She dished the soup generously, added plantain, and garnished it like a pro. The ladies ate. First spoon, silence. Second spoon. Gloria," Amaka looked up. "Did you use lemon?" "Lemon?" Gloria frowned. "God forbid. I don't use that rubbish." Blessing sniffed her spoon. "It smells fruity, like sugar, too." Gloria's eyes widened. She grabbed her own plate and tasted it. Her eyes watered, not from heat, from shock. "Who touched my soup?" she screamed. Zinna walked in slowly with her teddy. "Ma, I saw you left the pot open. I closed it for you. Daddy says flies can carry germs." Gloria's hands shook. You... "Gloria, it's okay," Amaka interrupted. "She meant well." Blessing smiled. "If your soup was really that good, one pinch of lemon shouldn't ruin it." The rest of the visit was awkward. They didn't finish their meal. Gloria lost her appetite. When they left, she slammed the door. "You demon! You will not kill me! You won't!" Zinna sat on the stairs. Calm. "I just helped cover the pot. You said I should act like a responsible girl." Gloria threw a shoe, missed. Zinna didn't flinch, just smiled. Monday morning, Mr. Richard was home. Gloria tried to act normal. She sang as she bathed, brushed her hair carefully, applied a new face cream. "This week I'll be calm," she told herself in the mirror. She stepped into the corridor and slipped. Her face hit the wall. Ah! Mr. Richard ran out. Babe, what happened? Zinna came out too. Mummy was rushing. Maybe the floor was slippery. Gloria held her cheek. A long scratch ran from her ear to her lip. She stared at Zinna. Did you pour oil again? No, Ma. I only used water. The tiles were dusty. Mr. Richard sighed. Met you've been falling too much lately. Maybe try walking slower. Gloria went to her room, stared at herself in the mirror. Then she saw it, a message, written faintly in lip gloss at the top corner of the mirror. You started it, I'm just smarter. She turned, looked around. The room was empty. She grabbed a towel, wiped the mirror, her hand trembled. That evening she searched Zinna's room, nothing. Just school books, cartoons, teddy bears. She sat on Zinna's bed, defeated. She looked at the window, then whispered, She's winning. This child is winning. One evening, Gloria stormed out of her bedroom screaming, Who entered my room? Who touched my drawer? Mr. Richard was in the study, typing. He stood immediately. What's wrong again? My gold earrings, my real ones, the ones you bought from Dubai, they're gone. She burst into the living room, her robe flying behind her like a cape. Zinna sat on the couch reading her literature homework. Gloria pointed. You came into my room! Don't lie! Zinna looked up, calm, unmoved. Your door was locked, Ma. As always. Mr. Richard stepped in. Gloria, are you sure you didn't misplace them? Are you saying I'm mad? She snapped. This girl has been messing with me for weeks. First my hair glue, then my waist trainer. Now this. You have no proof, Richard said, voice firmer. Zinna never even enters your room. You told her not to. Then she used jazz, spiritual hand. Zinna blinked. Daddy, maybe Mummy Gloria should pray. I've heard people say frustration invites confusion. Gloria flared. You little witch, you'll see! She lunged forward. Richard stepped in between them. Gloria, enough, he said sternly. She froze. I'm warning you, Gloria. One more outburst like this, and we're having a serious conversation. She stared at him, trembling. Later that night, as she unpacked laundry from the washing machine, the earrings fell out of her own scarf. She held them, stared, and in silent shame, put them away and never said a word. The next week, Zinna's school held their annual open day. Mr. Richard and Gloria arrived together, smiling, hand in hand. The teacher, a gentle woman in her 40s, welcomed them. Zinna is doing well, but I must tell you, she's been very withdrawn this term. Withdrawn how? Richard asked. The teacher hesitated, then opened a file. Inside were Zinna's recent compositions. One read, My stepmother thinks I'm stupid, but I am just quiet. Quiet like my mother's love. I don't speak because if I speak, someone may cry, and I don't want to be blamed, but I see everything, and soon I will speak. Richard read it, then passed it to Gloria. Her hands shook. She's trying to manipulate the teacher. This girl is cunning. The teacher raised a brow. She's 8. Richard sighed. He turned to Zinna, who was waiting outside the classroom. He called her in. Zinna, tell me the truth. Have you been writing these because you feel unsafe? She didn't look at Gloria, just said, I write how I feel. I feel small. I feel like my mother's love ended, and now I'm watching someone pretend to love me. But it's okay. I know the truth. Lies. You want to break my marriage. You're manipulating your father. The teacher stood up. Madam, please calm down. This is a school environment. Gloria stormed out. Richard sat, silent. Zinna sat beside him. Daddy, you told me to always say the truth. He nodded, but his eyes were red. 2 days later, Richard installed a small nanny cam in the living room, hidden behind the flower vase. He didn't tell Gloria. He didn't tell Zinna either. He just wanted the truth, raw, unfiltered. That weekend, he traveled again, just for 24 hours. The footage he saw when he returned changed everything. In the recording, Gloria was shouting, throwing Zinna's school shoes across the hallway. Next time you don't arrange your socks well, I'll throw your textbooks in the gutter. She dragged the child into the kitchen, forcing her to kneel with her hands raised. Zinna didn't cry. She just obeyed. Silent. Another clip showed Gloria talking to herself. I will make you beg to leave this house, just like your mother left the world." Richard watched, stunned, numb. He paused, rewound, watched again. Tears gathered in his eyes. He closed the laptop, called Gloria. "We need to talk. Now." She came downstairs in a robe. "Honey, Save it. I saw everything." Her lips parted. "It's not what it looks like. I heard you say you wanted her gone. I saw you hit her with a book. I saw you insult a child who has never lifted a finger at you." She dropped to her knees. "I was frustrated. It was pressure. You lied. You mocked her. You mocked me." Zinna walked in, teddy in hand. "Daddy, please, don't fight. I can leave if she wants. I can go to Grandma's." Richard turned to her. "No, baby, you're not going anywhere." He looked at Gloria. "But you? You may need to decide what kind of woman you want to be, because this home cannot be a battlefield anymore." Gloria sobbed. Zinna said nothing. She just picked up her teddy and walked back to her room, victorious. Mr. Richard arrived home one afternoon without announcing himself. He stepped in quietly, tired from his short trip, and was about to head upstairs when he heard something. A sharp cry followed by a loud slap. He rushed into the kitchen. Gloria had Zinna cornered against the wall, holding her by the shoulder. Zinna's face was flushed, one side red. "You will never win in this house," Gloria hissed. "Let her go," Mr. Richard barked. Gloria froze. Zinna, though shaking, didn't cry. She just lowered her gaze and stepped aside. "Richard, it's not what you think. I saw what I saw. And this is not the first time, Gloria. She's manipulating you. She's not innocent. She's a child." Zinna turned quietly and walked to her room. Gloria, now trembling, tried to defend herself, but Mr. Richard had heard enough. "You're packing out tomorrow morning." "What? Richard?" "I said what I said. This ends tonight." The next morning was painfully quiet. Zinna stayed in her room, playing with her teddy in silence. Her eyes were swollen, not from tears, but from holding back too many. Gloria packed her things into her red box, the same box she proudly brought in when she first married Richard. Now it looked heavier, like it carried her shame. As she descended the staircase, dragging the box along, Beesie the maid watched silently from the kitchen door. Mr. Richard stood at the entrance, arms folded. He said nothing. Zinna stood at the top of the stairs, watching. Gloria didn't look up. "The taxi is waiting," Richard said. "I've transferred money to your account." "So you're really sending me away because of that child?" she whispered.
"No, I'm sending you away because of your wickedness. You don't deserve to raise her."
She stepped closer.
"I'm your wife."
"You broke that rule the moment you laid your hands on my daughter." Zinna came down slowly, holding her teddy.
"Daddy," she said gently. "Yes, baby. Please, let her stay."
Richard and Gloria turned.
"What?"
he asked.
"Let her stay. Maybe if she stays, she'll learn to love us better. Maybe she'll learn that hurting others doesn't make you stronger."
Gloria's lips trembled. She dropped her red box. Tears filled her eyes. You want me to stay?" Zinna nodded.
"I don't want another person to walk away again. Mummy already left forever."
Mr. Richard's heart clenched. He looked at Gloria.
"You stay, not because of you, but because of this girl. If you cross the line again, you'll never step foot in this house."
Gloria burst into tears and fell to her knees.
"Thank you. I promise to change. I'll do better."
She pulled Zinna into a hug.
"I'm sorry,"
she wept.
"I'll become a better mother."
Zinna stood stiff for a while, then gently placed her hand on Gloria's shoulder.
"One day at a time."
Everyone stood silently for a moment. Beesie took the box upstairs. Richard sighed and walked out to take a call. Gloria sat on the couch, still wiping her eyes. Zinna walked away. But just as she turned the corridor, Gloria's smile slowly changed. She smirked, leaned closer, and whispered so only herself could hear.
"This is just the beginning. I'll send that girl to her mother's grave if it's the last thing I do."
Later that evening, Gloria cooked dinner herself. She laughed a little louder. She called Zinna sweetheart. She served Mr. Richard like a doting wife. Everyone thought maybe this was the beginning of peace. But Zinna wasn't fooled. She didn't eat much. She watched, quietly. In her room that night, Zinna wrote in her diary,
"She said sorry, but sorry can also be a mask. and I think she's wearing one.
The next morning, Gloria dressed Zinna for school, packed her lunch, kissed her forehead.
You're such a blessing, my love.
Zinna blinked,
Thank you, Ma.
but her eyes were distant. As Zinna stepped out of the house, Gloria watched her from the window.
One step at a time, little girl.
She whispered.
One step, until I win.